So today I am trying to recreate another piece by Vincent van Gogh, and it's the Starry Night over the Rhone. I am sure everyone has probably heard of this piece. Now I think I uploaded the first episode of the series almost 3 months ago, and to be honest with you guys, I completely forgot about that. And I'm sure you didn't notice, I haven't been posting any video for almost a month now as I was busy with my studies. So this week, as I was browsing through my ideas about what videos to film next, I decided why not make another Sketchbook Friday video and continue with this series. Now before we go any further, I'd like to add a small disclaimer. If you're looking for a tutorial on how to paint this Starry Night, I am afraid this is not the video for you because it's not a painting tutorial like most of my recent uploads have been. In this series, I just simply chat with you guys about the painting process and how I was inspired to paint this specific piece. I mean, more or less the story behind the painting. Now the disclaimer out of the way, I was saying I enjoyed painting Starry Night for the first episode of this series, so I decided to paint another one. And I think many people don't know this, but Van Gogh created no less than 21 variations of Starry Night in various light and weather conditions, simply because he wasn't satisfied with the final result. Some of the paintings include Terrace of a Cafe at Night, The Road with Cypress and Stars, or The Starry Night over the Rhone. Of all of them, The Starry Night, the one Van Gogh painted while he was at Saint Remi's, is the most popular and well known. Now, The Starry Night over the Rhone was inspired by Van Gogh's time spent in the south of France, and he painted this piece even before completing his most famous painting, The Starry Night at Saint Remi's, the one people are most familiar with. Another interesting fact of this painting is that it was one of the only few Van Gogh works that were shown publicly before his death. I'm sure most of you think this painting looks quite simple, just some splashes of paint here and there, but honestly it's quite difficult to paint. For the most part, Van Gogh used two complementary colors, blue and yellow, which I am finding it very difficult to work with. When yellow and blue are combined, they create a dark green color, and because I'm using gouache which reactivate very easily, my highlights on the water turned green in some areas, and I had to paint over the area. That's quite frustrating. So to prevent that, I'm being extra careful with working with these colors side by side. But it wouldn't be a problem if you use acrylic or oil paint, as they don't reactivate that easily. By the way, I'd like to thank all of you guys for supporting me. I'm surprised to see that my channel has reached over 100 subscribers. When I first started this channel, I didn't expect it to have 50, let alone 100. As I've said before, I started this channel mainly to distract myself from the current situation. It seemed like a good way to get away from what is happening in real life, I mean the pandemic and all that. Painting has always been a hobby of mine, and starting a YouTube channel seemed like a fun way to pass the time. So, getting such positive feedback is a pleasant surprise for me. So, I think this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed the painting process, and see you in my next video, and bye.